Number 9, the height in feet of a flare t seconds after it is shot is modeled by this equation. H of t is equal to negative 16 t squared plus 92t plus 3.5. Find its average speed from 1 to 3 seconds. All right, so first of all, let's think about what this is going to look like. This is a quadratic. So it's going to be a parabola, and the t squared term is negative, so it's going to look like this. It's going to be a parabola that opens downward. And so at 1 second will be like right here, and at 3 seconds up here. Now we want to think about how we can find the average speed between those 2 points. Well, remember what we're graphing here. This is h of t. This is the height of our rocket, and down here is time. So if we've got this straight line between those 2 points, if we found the slope of that, then slope, remember, is rise over run. So the rise over the run. The rise is the height. The run is the time. So we're taking the change in the height over the change in the time. That is going to give us speed. Speed is just the change in distance divided by the change in time. It's the same if you were driving down the street. If you wanted to know what your average speed was over your trip, you'd figure out, well, I traveled 80 miles and it took me an hour and 10 minutes, and so I could divide 80 minus an hour and 10 minutes and figure out what my speed was. Same thing happening here. The height is the change in the height, or the change in the distance that this rocket has traveled, divided by the change in the time is going to give us our average speed over those 2 seconds. All right. So let's figure out how to find that slope. So the change in the height is going to be whatever the height is at 3 seconds minus whatever the height was at 1 second, divided by the change in the time. That was 3 seconds minus 1 second. So let's plug these in, figure out what h of 3 is. Plug in 3, you get negative 16 times 3 squared plus 92 times 3 plus 3.5. 3 squared is 9 times negative 16 is negative 144. 92 times 3 is 276 plus 3.5. So negative 144 plus 276 is 132 plus 3.5 is 135.5. All right, that's a h of 3. And then h of 1, the height at 1 second, is equal to negative 16 times 1 squared plus 92 times 1 plus 3.5. So 1 squared is just 1. So we get negative 16 plus 92 plus 3.5. Let's see, 92 plus 3.5 is 95.5 minus 16 is going to be 79.5. So that's h of 3 is 135.5, h of 1 is 79.5. To find the slope now, we take 135.5 minus 79.5 divided by 3 minus 1, which is 2. 135.5 minus 79.5 is 56. Divided by 2 is 28. That's 28 feet per second. That's the average speed from 1 second after the launch to 3 seconds after the launch.